What's going on, everybody? Okay, so this is going to be a review for the PS4 Platinum wireless headset. Let's get straight into it. Let me take these off. These are going to be the golds. Let's see what we could get done here. Okay, I have a few topics I'm going to talk about. Let me take these off as well. Keep them right here. And we're going to go over these topics and we're going to talk about this headset. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to let you guys know this is going to be a brutally honest review of this headset. So if you have some kind of fanboy issues or you don't like hearing any kind of critique of any kind, I suggest you click off this video now. You've been warned. This is just going to be my honest, unbiased opinion and review. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay, so let's get that out of the way and let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about with this headset, a lot of people probably won't consider this the first thing, but I do because it's important. It's the comfort. Comfort is an important thing when it comes to a gaming headset, next to sound. So let's talk about the comfortability of this headset. Right away, I noticed when I brought this headset that it closes in just like the gold headset or the silver headset. But it closes in a little bit more and it's more forceful because of the rubbery top. Now, the headset is comfortable when you first put it on. But what I noticed about the headset is it starts to become a little bit uncomfortable after 30 minutes to an hour, and that is a problem. This headset has a way of pinching and squeezing on your head. Now, this could be because I have a big head or big ears or both. But I think it may vary depending on the size of your head. Now, I'm not going to say this is for everybody, but I know if you wear fitted caps or snapbacks like I do, and you rock those joints like kind of to the max or close to it, yeah, you're going to feel a pinching. Like, see, look. See how it thumped on my head? That feeling starts to feel more and more pressure on your head as time progresses naturally because it's pinching. So comfortability, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Because it's just not that comfortable after about 30 minutes to an hour. Now, I'm a person that doesn't game for long periods of time, but I do sit there for about an hour listening to different things, trying out different stuff, clicking on videos, things of that nature. And after an hour, I feel like I need to take these off because they're hurting. So that's number one. Number two, which is going to be number one for some of you, is the sound. Sound quality on this headset is actually amazing. It's pretty good, but I do have complaints. Now, the 3D audio is amazing. I tried it on Uncharted 4, and yes, you hear all kinds of amazing sounds and things that you would not hear on any other headset. But there's a trade-off. You have to listen to everything in 3D audio on this headset in order to get a good enough volume. Now, 3D audio is pretty good, but 7.1, which you will find in gold and other headsets, competes with this. So between it not having a lot of presets and a lot of 3D audio games, this is almost like a gimmick. Now, it sounds good, so I'm not going to call it a gimmick, but you need more stuff in order for this to be worth buying. So sound, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 because the sound is good, but the limitations to the volume hurt it. It really hurts it. It hurts it a lot. Now, noise cancellation, which I'm going to get into now because it's part of the sound. Noise cancellation is a problem with this headset because, as you can see when you put it on, if you can't hear anything, that means you're getting good noise cancellation. If you can hear everything, that means that it's not doing a good enough job at keeping the noise out. Now, if you have people over your house and you have people in another room, they're playing a game, arguing, fighting, or just playing around in some kind of way, or they're just saying something loud, you're going to be able to hear some of what's going on. And it's going to distract you. And it leads me to my next point, immersion. It's going to distract you from playing the game. As you can see, my voice is still the same with the headset on as if I take it off, which means that's not good for noise cancellation. Now, noise cancellation for me means keeping noise out. So it's not sealing it in or sealing it out. So with that being said, you have the noise canceling. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this in the immersion because that's when I need to stick to my topic. It affects the immersion because you can hear things and it's going to distract you. And the reason for that is because, like, what goes back to the sound again, the headset just doesn't get loud enough. I noticed that if you turn off the 3D audio, this headset actually sounds lower than the golds, and there's something wrong with that. Now, I tried the 3.5mm jack, and I noticed when I plugged that in and played with the sends on my phone MP3 player and PC, it got loud. Now, it still isn't loud enough, but it's louder than what they're giving you in the presets, which means that this could be fixed and addressed. Now, this headset is supposed to be 50mm drivers, and their goal is supposed to be 30. So this should naturally just be louder. Now, for some reason, they have it set in a way that it's not, and I believe that's probably part of the reason it was delayed, but they should have delayed it a little more because they need to fix that. Now, I'm not going to say they can't fix it because I believe they can, but they do need to fix that. So, noise cancellation, immersion sound, we went over that. Let's talk about the battery life real quick because that's another big issue. The battery life is touted to be 10 to 12 hours. This is actually something that is possible, but not likely. The battery life will equal that of the Gold headset. Now, I don't want to keep comparing it to the Gold because I'm going to do a separate video for that. But however, this is very similar to the Gold battery life because you have to put this in 3D audio in order to get the best sound. Now, you can use the 3D audio for any game. It's just not going to sound as good as Uncharted 4, but you need that setting in order to make this loud enough to be enjoyable. Well, the problem is when you click on the 3D audio, which is the button on the back on the right side, the only button, that's for your 3D audio, you'll get a message on your PlayStation as if you plugged in a charger for your controller or for something of that nature, or the charger for the headset, because it's warning you that it's going to start draining the battery. Now, with the 3D audio on, you're going to get about 5 hours out of this. In 3 days, I charged this thing 3 times. So, and I only game for no more than 2 hours, 2.5 tops. And I charged this thing 3 times. Now, of course, the 3 times is because one time I left it on. But this just goes to show you that roughly you're going to get 5 hours out of this with everything turned on, which, of course, you're going to turn everything on to get the best features out of the headset. Makes no sense to me why they touted that power of 10 hours and better when you're not going to get that. That means you're not enjoying the headset because you have the features that make the headset good off. So battery life, I'm going to give a 4 out of 10 because it's pretty much bringing you right back to the battery life that's in the Gold. And for the price, it shouldn't be the case. Design. Let's go over the design real quick. Okay, so the design is actually where I think this headset looks good and it did right. The design is, of course, the rubbery headband over a platinum aluminum top, and I do like the design. There's some things wrong with the design of the headset though. The inside earpiece, these have a way of ridging out, so I can tell they did that for immersion, but when you put the headset on, there's like a cup effect on your ears, so it's pinching your ears in this way. And that's uncomfortable, and that's part of the design. Now, the other headsets do it, but for some reason, it's more pronounced in this headset, giving it more of a pinching on the side of your ears. Now, this is cool, but if the headset was louder, I think that would be beneficial. But due to the fact that the headset is not that loud, I don't see why they did that. So they could fix that. That's something that they don't need to have in the headset. I get that they did it like, if you turn your headset in, it's already pretty much turned and tilted for you. And that's something that in a gaming headset you don't want. You kind of want to be able to do that on your own. That's the only drawback from the design. But however, the design is pretty good with the silver representing platinum and the black representing, you know, a platinum finish, a platinum look. The design, I'm going to give a 7 out of 8. I would give it a 9, but that earpiece, the ears are just uncomfortable. So I'm going to give it a 7 on design. I do like the design though. All things considered, even with the ears, I like the design. I like where the buttons are. All the buttons are on the left side and the back. And of course, your one button on this side is just to let you know that's the power button for the 3D audio. I like that. Presets. Presets are interesting. Every headset for the PlayStation has its own presets in the companion app that comes along with the PlayStation if you download it from the store for your headset. Now, the presets are where this headset seems to be able to take advantage of some good potential, but it's currently not available now. Like I said, when you plug in this headset, or should I say the dongle to your PlayStation for this headset, you're gonna get some choices. Not as many choices as the other headsets due to the fact that this is newer, but you will get the 3D audio choices and you will get the other 7.1 choices. Now, the 7.1 and 3D audio sound great, so the presets are pretty good, but there's something wrong with the presets as far as how loud they get, and I hate to keep going back to that, but it seems like the presets are actually the problem with why the headset is not getting loud. I noticed that if you play with the presets, you get different sound qualities. Now, this headset does have all of your buttons on the back, just like you would have known on the other headset from Sony. But they'll usually have them along the back and the front. Everything is pretty much on this side. And on the right side, you have your 3D audio setting. You have to turn that on in order to get the quality. Now, for those of you who have the headset and you probably can't get it to tell you if the 3D audio is on, all you have to do is turn this on, and on the screen is going to say 3D audio next to the mic and the controller. You're going to get an indicator telling you about the battery life, and then it's going to say 3D next to that, because 3D is going to be draining your battery. So it's going to actually tell you that you enable 3D, because that's kind of a warning to let you know you're killing your battery faster. Now, outside of that, you have all of the other features. You have your presets. You have your on, preset 1 and preset 2. You have your chat and your sound. You have your mute, and you have your volume, and then you have your mini USB port and your 3.5mm jack if you want to use a cord, which is a plus for this headset, because you don't just have to use it wirelessly. You can plug in a cord and you can use this with your cell phone, your MP3 player, on your PC, on your Xbox, any of that stuff, because you can use this on your Xbox simply by taking a 3.5mm jack and plug it into your Xbox controller or your Xbox adapter, believe it or not. And it works. And it sounds pretty good, actually, believe it or not. I was impressed at the quality when you plug in the 3.5mm jack. It's almost like you don't lose any quality. And also brings me to the fact that I think something's going on with this headset, because you should definitely hear a difference between plugging in a 3.5mm and using a 7.1, and you don't really hear that when you plug it in. So something's going on Sony's end with this, and I think they could fix that. So for right now though, definitely it's a disappointment. The presets on this headset are definitely interesting, because every headset that you plug into the PlayStation and you check through the companion app is gonna have its own preset set for you. This has presets for 3D audio and 7.1, but then it also has standard presets for like action, horror, and movie. If you want to like listen to a movie or play a horror game or action game or fighting game or a shooter, these presets are pretty good. But like I said, the problem I noticed with the presets, all of them, is that they sound too low in the headset unless you put it in 3D audio, which is not really the accurate preset for the headset. But this is the only way to me to get it to sound good. And it does sound good, but like I said, my problem with everything that you hear through the headset is it's just not loud enough. But it sounds great. The quality is excellent. The presets have great quality. Everything is EQ tuned nicely. Things like thunder when I was playing For Honor beta sound great. Gunshots in the background, all of that sounds amazing. I just wish I could turn it up. That's the only problem. So the presets, I'm going to say, are pretty good. Now, you don't have to plug in the headset to get the presets sent to the headset, but I recommend you do that, because a lot of people have been having issues. I had one issue with the presets where I did the presets through the headset wirelessly, and when I turned off the PlayStation and came back, there were no presets there. So I used the mini USB and did it, and now everything's fine and the presets are there when I come back. So I do recommend that you don't use that feature, or if you do use that feature, you double check when you come back to make sure your presets are still in there. All right, so keep that in mind with the presets. So the presets, I'm going to have to give a 6 out of 10 currently right now, because there's not too many of them and they still need to do a lot of work on those. I think those can fix this headset a lot if they work on that. Price. This is the final category for the headset, other than the mic test. The price of the headset is pretty steep, honestly, and I feel like if you're going to be upgrading from the gold headset, that this is not worth it for the price currently, because of the support that the headset is getting. There are some issues I believe that Sony will address and fix, but currently right now they exist, and the issues are grand enough to me that it doesn't warrant you to pay $159 for this headset. The other reason I think you shouldn't pay $159 for this headset is because with tax and insurance, it's going to come out to $200. And for that price, there are so many other headsets that are competing with this sound. Now, the 3D audio 7.1 is definitely not a gimmick. It's definitely a good sound. But once again, we go back to the whole thing of there not being much to it. So unless you're going to wait currently at this moment in time, I recommend you don't buy this headset for the price point. If this headset reached $100, I would say get this headset. Do I recommend upgrading from the golds to this headset? I do not. I think the sound of the golds is good enough that you don't need to do this. However, I will be doing a comparison video after this where you can see for yourself the breakdown one next to the other, and you can decide for yourself if you want to get these. All right, so currently right now I'm going to say that the price point keeps this from being something you should buy day one or buy right now, and I do feel like Sony can fix it. Now, before I leave, I'm going to give you a mic test, and you can hit a mic quality. I'm not going to determine what the mic quality sounds like or judge it, because mic quality honestly is an opinion to the person, what they're looking for, what sound they're going for. And honestly, if you're going to be judging mic quality, you should be using a microphone, and the PlayStation supports a USB mic, so you should be using that automatically over a headset for audio, just like I do. People compliment me all the time on how my audio sounds on my PlayStation because they don't know I'm using a USB mic unless they ask. And that's the difference between me and them. And I actually hear the difference on who's on a USB mic and the headset mic when I'm playing. I can tell. Like, if you watch some of my live streams or videos, you'll hear me telling people, oh, you're using a headset. Oh, you're using a mic. Oh, you're using this equipment or that equipment, because you can hear it. I can actually hear usually what someone's using to communicate. So this is one of those times when I'm not going to knock any headset versus a USB mic when you have the choice, especially since the console supports it. So with that being said, I'm going to recommend that you skip on these for now for the price, and that's all I have to say. Okay, so this is a test with the PS4 Platinum wireless headset. This is what my voice is sounding like now. This headset does have dual microphones, one on both sides, and this is what my voice is sounding like. This is without any equalization or mix added, and this is being recorded with Audacity, so you can decide for yourself if this sounds good enough for you versus any other microphone or headset that you have used. Me personally, I do prefer to use a USB microphone on my PlayStation instead of a mic headset, period. So this is just an audio test for you guys to decide what you like to hear. So the quality is great, the sound is great, but it doesn't do its job properly. There's a lot of technical problems with this headset, and there's a lot of comfortability problems with this headset for the price. Now, if these were the price of the golds right now, I would say, hey, go out and get them. When the 3.5mm headphone jack is plugged in, these headsets sound great as far as regular headsets. But like I said, once again, the noise cancellation causes an issue on that end. So overall, I'm going to have to say that I recommend that you don't buy these headsets until they fix a couple of things and they lower the price. Definitely for the price, they need to lower these to around $100, and these are competing at that point. But anything more than $100, I feel like these headsets are not worth buying. So at the end of the day, I would recommend that you don't buy these headsets over the golds, or unless they bring these down to the price of the golds. Then I recommend buying these. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If you guys got any questions for me about the headset, I'm going to answer them all honestly, of course. And if you guys are upset or can't handle honesty, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But my recommendation to you, if you're going to buy a Sony headset right now for gaming, is to buy the golds, because those run you anywhere between 60 to 80 bucks, and they sound just as good as these currently, outside of the 3D audio feature, which only supports 4 games at the moment, and you have to play everything in 3D audio to get close to what you're going to get from the golds. All right, so like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm out of here. You can check out the unboxing if you haven't. Also I will have the comparison video going up tomorrow between these and the golds. If you didn't subscribe, subscribe. If you are subscribed, please hit the notification bell right under my name so you can get a notification whenever I post videos. All right? So like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm out of here. Peace.